Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video, we're going to explore something really interesting and exciting. So, if you want to find out what you'll learn by staying with us till the end, make sure to watch the whole video. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. It was a year that many will remember for its shifts in both politics and culture. The world was adjusting to the 1980s, a time that would come to be defined by technological advancements, the end of the Cold War, and an era of dynamic change in global and American history. Amidst this era of change, a seemingly small and unassuming object entered circulation, the 1981 USA 1-dime coin. Now, to some, this might seem like just another piece of change that would be shuffled around in their pockets and forgotten by the next day. But to collectors, numismatists, and anyone with an eye for detail, the 1981 1-dime is far more than just a common coin. It's a piece of history, a symbol of its time, and, as we will discover, a valuable treasure for those who know what to look for. Before we get into the specifics of the 1981 dime itself, let's first understand the context in which it was minted. The year 1981 marked the start of a new decade in the United States. President Ronald Reagan had just been inaugurated, and his administration was poised to make sweeping changes in both foreign and domestic policies. But for now, the economy was the center of attention. Inflation was a persistent issue, and the country was coming out of the effects of the 1970s energy crisis. But amidst all these economic troubles, life continued, and so did the minting of coins, each with a story to tell. The 1981 1-dime coin was part of a series of coins that continued a design tradition established long before Reagan's presidency. The dime, specifically, had been in circulation since 1796, and for much of the 20th century, its design was unchanged. But over time, it evolved from the iconic Mercury Dime of the early 20th century to the design we recognize today, the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. It all began in 1936 when the United States Mint decided to replace the Mercury Dime, a coin that had been in circulation since 1916. The Mint wanted a design that would honor a beloved president. Franklin D. Roosevelt had led the country through the Great Depression and World War II, and his impact was deeply felt. In 1945, shortly after Roosevelt passed away, the U.S. Treasury decided to place his likeness on the dime, a fitting tribute to a president who had reshaped the nation. The design of the Roosevelt dime, which remains largely unchanged today, is the work of artist John R. Sinek. Sinek's design shows Roosevelt in profile, facing left, with a strikingly stoic expression. On the obverse of the coin, you'll also find the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as the year of minting. The reverse features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. But what makes the 1981 1-dime coin special, beyond its place in the long-standing tradition of Roosevelt dimes, is the historical context of the year it was produced. The early 1980s were a time of inflation, high interest rates, and political shifts in the United States. The design of the coin, although unchanged, was meant to reflect the values of the time: resilience, perseverance, and an unwavering belief in American ideals. The 1981 dime was part of the currency in circulation during this pivotal moment in history, a silent witness to the early years of the Reagan administration. Now, let's dive into the minting process of the 1981 dime, which helps to explain some of its unique qualities. The United States Mint, responsible for producing the country's coins, produces millions of dimes every year. However, while most of these dimes were mass-produced, some were struck under specific circumstances that set them apart from the rest. In 1981, the United States Mint produced the dime at three major facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. The majority of the coins were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but a smaller number was minted at San Francisco, primarily for collectors. These coins, which were part of special proof sets, were made with a higher standard of detail and finish, leading to their increased appeal among collectors. Now, let's get into the details that matter most for collectors: the quality of the strike, the type of mint mark, and the overall condition of the coin. Most of the dimes from 1981 are in relatively good condition, but there are subtle variations that can make a huge difference in value. The presence of a mint mark is one of the first things collectors look for. The dimes minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while those from Denver have a D, and those from San Francisco, which were made for collectors, have an S. While most of the 1981 dimes circulated widely and show the signs of wear and tear, some survived in nearly pristine condition, hidden away in rolls or carefully preserved in collections. It's these coins that are of particular interest to numismatists, as even slight imperfections can have a huge impact on their value. For instance, a dime with a clean, well-struck image, free from blemishes or scratches, is far more desirable than one that's been through years of circulation. The 1981 dime is also a part of a broader series of coins, with subtle variations across different years. For collectors who specialize in dimes, the 1981 issue is an important piece of the puzzle, representing a year of significant economic transition in the United States, but as with any coin, its value depends not only on its condition but also on demand and rarity. While most 1981 dimes are relatively common and don't fetch high prices, some rare versions of the coin have become extremely valuable. For example, proof dimes, those that were struck for collectors at the San Francisco Mint, can carry a much higher premium, especially when they are in pristine, uncirculated condition. In fact, one of the key factors in determining the value of any coin is whether it has been preserved in a way that keeps it in near-perfect condition. Coins that are graded highly by professional organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can often command significant prices. In the case of the 1981 dime, a coin that is graded at the highest level, say, a perfect grade of MS 70, can be a highly prized possession for any collector. These coins, because of their flawless condition, are often sold for far higher prices than their face value. And now, we arrive at the most exciting part of the story. What is the value of the 1981 one-dime coin today? The answer depends on several factors, but a coin that has been well preserved, graded, and possibly has an interesting provenance could be worth an impressive sum. Some collectors have paid upwards of $1,000 for certain high-quality examples of the 1981 dime, especially when they have been preserved in mint state or as part of limited edition proof sets. But there's one more twist to this tale. If you were to find a particularly rare variation of the 1981 dime, perhaps one that had a very low mintage or a unique mint error, the value could be astronomical. Certain coins with errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, have been known to fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. In fact, in recent years, a few very rare examples of the 1981 dime have sold for as much as $132,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1981 dime, in near-perfect condition and with an incredibly rare minting flaw, could be worth more than a brand new car. So, if you're sitting on a 1981 dime in your coin jar or found one in your pocket change, it might just be worth taking a second look. In conclusion, the 1981 one-dime coin may seem like a humble piece of currency at first glance, but it's a coin that holds a wealth of history, artistry, and potential value. Whether you're a casual collector or a serious numismatist, this coin offers a glimpse into a pivotal time in American history, and its value could be far more than you ever expected. So, the next time you encounter a 1981 dime, remember that it's not just a coin, it's a piece of history, with the potential to be worth much more than its face value. The top 2. It was 1984, and the United States was in the midst of an era defined by change, growth, and the beginning of a new technological age. The country had successfully navigated the economic struggles of the late 1970s, and now, the 1980s were shaping up to be a decade of optimism and transformation. The world watched as a new generation emerged, and at the heart of it all, America was redefining its place on the global stage. But, among the larger shifts in culture, politics, and technology, something small and seemingly insignificant was quietly circulating in the pockets of millions of Americans, the 1984 one-dime coin. While many people likely didn't give this particular coin a second thought, for collectors and numismatists, this dime holds more significance than meets the eye. It's not just a piece of currency that you might toss into a vending machine or carry around in your pocket. No, the 1984 dime is a link to an era in U.S. history that has become iconic. And for those in the know, it's a coin that, in certain circumstances, can be worth a lot more than its 10-cent face value. Let's start by stepping back in time to understand the significance of the 1984 dime in the larger historical context of its era. The 1980s were a period of great change for the United States. Ronald Reagan, having been elected president in 1980, was in the midst of his first term, pushing a conservative agenda that would come to define much of the decade. The economy was rebounding from the stagflation of the 1970s, and the country was seeing growth in many sectors, including technology, entertainment, and finance. But amidst the exciting shifts in American life, everyday items like coins continued to be minted, unchanged in design but reflective of the era. The United States had used dimes in one form or another since 1796, and by the 1980s, the design of the dime had remained relatively stable. The 1984 dime, like most dimes minted in the 20th century, bore the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. His face, immortalized in coinage, became an enduring symbol of the nation's resilience and resolve, particularly in the aftermath of the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's face, in profile, is seen on the obverse, while the reverse features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, a symbol of liberty, peace, and strength. Now, let's talk a bit more about the design of the 1984 dime itself. It wasn't just a random design chosen for that particular year. It was part of a legacy that went back to 1946, when the U.S. Mint decided to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt by placing his likeness on the coin. Roosevelt's image replaced the former Mercury Dime, which had been in circulation since 1916. The new design was the work of artist John R. Sinek, the chief engraver at the U.S. Mint at the time, and it has remained on the dime for decades, largely unchanged. This design is one of the most enduring in U.S. coinage history. But what makes the 1984 one-dime coin so special? At first glance, you might think it's just another dime in a long line of similar coins. But to understand why it's worth paying attention to, we need to look at a few key factors: the coin's minting details, the history of the dime struck that year, and what sets the 1984 dimes apart from the millions of others produced that same year. In 1984, the U.S. Mint produced dimes at multiple locations. These coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Like most dimes produced at the time, the majority were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver Mints, while coins struck at the San Francisco Mint were primarily intended for collectors, particularly in the form of proof sets. These proof coins were made with higher quality processes, giving them a distinctive, polished appearance. Proof dimes from 1984 are often highly sought after by collectors, as they're made with more attention to detail, providing a level of precision that makes them stand out from their circulation counterparts. To collectors, this subtle difference in the minting process is important. Proof coins, because of the way they are made, are typically of a much higher quality than regular circulation coins. They have a mirror-like finish and are struck multiple times to ensure that all the fine details of the design come through clearly. This means that proof dimes from 1984, especially those in pristine condition, can fetch a far higher value than typical dimes produced in bulk for general circulation. But, of course, the value of any coin is not solely based on how well it's made. Rarity, condition, and even the presence of unique features or errors are critical when determining a coin's worth. And while the 1984 dime may seem common to the untrained eye, it has unique characteristics that can elevate its value in the world of coin collecting. First, we must understand the importance of a coin's grade. A coin's grade is a measure of its condition, and it's a key factor in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. A coin with a grade of 70 is considered to be in perfect, uncirculated condition. The 1984 dime, in particular, is often found in high grades, but there are certain coins that stand out even more. For example, a 1984 dime that has been preserved in near-perfect condition, with no visible signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, is highly coveted by collectors. Furthermore, certain unique errors can occur during the minting process, leading to highly rare variations of the 1984 dime. Coins with errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets, are often the subject of intense interest among collectors. These coins, because of their rarity and the story they tell about the minting process, can sometimes be worth far more than their unblemished counterparts. So, where does this all lead us? What is the value of the 1984 dime today? Most 1984 dimes are still worth just their face value of 10 cents. But for those who are fortunate enough to possess a high-grade proof dime or one with a rare minting error, the value can be far higher. As of recent years, a perfect, uncirculated 1984 proof dime could be worth hundreds of dollars, particularly if it has been graded by a reputable organization like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. However, the real excitement comes from the rarest of rare finds, an error coin or a dime in absolutely pristine condition. These rare examples have been known to sell for astronomical prices at auctions, sometimes reaching into the tens of thousands of dollars. For example, a particularly rare 1984 dime, one with a significant error or in a perfect grade, could command upwards of $122,000 at the right auction. Yes, you read that right. An error or high-grade 1984 dime could be worth $122,000, a staggering amount for a coin that started out as just a 10-cent piece of currency. It's easy to dismiss a simple dime as just pocket change, but as the 1984 dime proves, there's more to a coin than meets the eye. It's a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold a world of history, artistry, and potential value. So, the next time you find yourself with a 1984 dime in your hands, take a moment to appreciate the legacy it carries with it. You never know, what you have might just be worth more than you think. The top 3. It was 1995, and the United States was in the midst of an era defined by technological progress, cultural shifts, and economic growth. The world was changing fast, the internet was gaining momentum, the music scene was booming with the rise of grunge and hip-hop, and the political landscape was experiencing a sense of stability. In the midst of all these changes, one thing remained constant: the familiar clink of coins in pockets, wallets, and cash registers. And among those coins, the 1995 one-dime coin was quietly circulating. To the average person, the 1995 dime might have seemed like just another standard piece of currency, used to make small purchases, give change, or collect in jars. But for those with a keen eye for numismatics, the study of coins, this seemingly ordinary dime holds far more value and significance than you might think. Far beyond its role in everyday transactions, the 1995 dime is a part of the enduring legacy of U.S. coinage, with a unique historical context and intriguing collector appeal. So, what makes this small coin from 1995 so special? Before we dive into the specifics of the 1995 one dime, let's take a moment to understand the broader historical context of the year in which it was minted. The United States was in the midst of a relatively prosperous period, having emerged from the economic downturns of the late 1980s and early 1990s. Bill Clinton had recently been elected president, ushering in a new political era with a focus on domestic policy and economic reform. The country was experiencing a strong economy, low unemployment, and a growing tech industry, all of which would lay the groundwork for the technological revolution that was just around the corner. But while the world was evolving in many ways, the design of U.S. coins, particularly the dime, remained largely unchanged. The dime, a coin worth just 10 cents, had a long history in the United States, dating back to 1796. Over the centuries, the design of the dime had gone through various iterations, reflecting the changing tastes and ideals of the country. By 1995, the design on the dime had settled into its most iconic and enduring form, the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's image on the dime was not accidental. In 1945, shortly after Roosevelt's death, the U.S. Mint decided to honor the president by placing his likeness on the dime. Franklin D. Roosevelt had led the country through the Great Depression and most of World War II, and his leadership had earned him widespread respect. His face, in profile, was designed by artist John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, and it has remained on the coin for decades. The reverse side of the 1995 dime, like all dimes struck since 1946, features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Together, these elements make the 1995 dime a visual representation of the enduring ideals of the United States. Now, let's dive deeper into the specifics of the 1995 dime, beginning with the minting process. The United States Mint produced the dime at several facilities across the country, but the majority of the 1995 dimes were struck at two key mints, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. These facilities were responsible for producing the bulk of U.S. coins, and they each had distinct mint marks to identify their products. Dimes minted at the Philadelphia Mint, for instance, did not carry a mint mark, while those struck at the Denver Mint carried the familiar D mint mark. In addition to these standard mintings, the U.S. Mint also struck proof dimes in San Francisco, which were sold primarily to collectors as part of special proof sets. Proof coins are made using a more refined process, and they often feature a mirror-like finish and sharper details compared to coins intended for circulation. The 1995 proof dimes, like those struck in previous years, were highly polished and carefully produced to meet the demands of collectors who prize these flawless examples. But what is it about the 1995 dime that makes it stand out from the millions of other dimes produced during that time? For many collectors, it's the condition of the coin, as well as any potential rare variations or minting errors. Like all coins, the value of the 1995 dime is influenced by factors such as its grade, rarity, and overall condition. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or other signs of wear, are far more valuable than those that show evidence of years of circulation. A coin's grade is a crucial factor in determining its value. The Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, are two of the most respected organizations that provide grading services for coins. Coins that are given a grade of MS 70, the highest possible grade, are considered perfect and free from any imperfections. In the case of the 1995 dime, an MS 70 coin is an exceptional find. It would have been kept in mint condition and would likely command a premium in the collector market, but even more rare than a perfect grade 1995 dime are those coins with errors or unique features. Coins can be struck with flaws due to imperfections in the minting process, leading to errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or other anomalies. These rare error coins can be worth much more than standard dimes. For example, a 1995 dime with a significant error, such as a misstruck die or a rare minting variation, could be worth far more than its face value. As we continue to explore the 1995 dime, it's important to note that even though most 1995 dimes are relatively common, some rare examples can fetch a significant price at auction. The rarest dimes, whether due to their pristine condition or their unique minting characteristics, can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on their grade and rarity. So, where does the 1995 dime stand in terms of its current market value? While most 1995 dimes are still worth only their face value of 10 cents, there are certain examples that have been known to fetch impressive prices. A high-grade 1995 proof dime, for instance, can sell for hundreds of dollars, especially if it has been certified by a professional grading organization. The real excitement, however, comes when rare variations or errors are involved. Some of these error coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. For example, a rare 1995 dime, one that has been graded at a perfect MS-70 or has an unusual mint error, could be worth upwards of $110,000 at the right auction. Yes, you heard that correctly, a single 1995 dime could be worth $110,000. This staggering figure is a testament to the rarity and value of certain coins that might otherwise seem like ordinary pocket change. In conclusion, the 1995 one-dime coin may seem like a small and insignificant piece of currency, but it holds a unique place in U.S. coinage history. It's a coin that reflects a pivotal moment in the country's past, and it continues to captivate collectors today. Whether you're a casual coin collector or a seasoned numismatist, the 1995 dime is a reminder that even the most ordinary coins can be valuable treasures. So, the next time you come across a 1995 dime, take a moment to appreciate its historical significance, and who knows, you might just be holding on to a rare find worth far more than you ever imagined. The top 4. It was the year 2002, a pivotal moment in the early 21st century. The world was emerging from the chaos of the 1990s and adjusting to the rapid technological changes that were reshaping the way people lived. The United States, particularly, was adjusting to its place in the post-Cold War world. It was a time of economic uncertainty, heightened security concerns following the September 11 attacks the previous year, and a cultural shift towards digital technology that would forever alter society. But in the midst of this whirlwind of change, there was a small, everyday object that continued to circulate unnoticed, tucked away in pockets and purse linings across the nation. The 2002 U.S. one-dime coin. For most people, the 2002 dime may have seemed like just another coin, a simple tool for making small purchases or receiving change. It was easy to overlook, especially with so many other coins in circulation. However, for collectors, numismatists, and those with an eye for detail, the 2002 one-dime is far from ordinary. It's a coin that carries with it not only the legacy of the U.S. Mint but also a unique set of features that make it an intriguing piece of American history. But why is the 2002 dime worth paying attention to? What sets it apart from all the other dimes circulating at the time? To understand that, we need to look back at the historical context surrounding this particular coin and delve into its design, minting process, and the factors that contribute to its value today. As we enter the year 2002, we find the United States in the midst of the George W. Bush presidency. The year began in the wake of one of the most tragic events in American history, the September 11 terrorist attacks, which had a profound impact on the nation's psyche and policies. There was an air of both resilience and uncertainty, as the country grappled with security concerns, wars in the Middle East, and a struggling economy. Despite these challenges, the country was beginning to emerge from a period of economic stagnation, with efforts to combat the recession and stabilize the economy. The U.S. Mint continued its role during this time, producing coins that would make up the day-to-day currency used by Americans. Among these coins was the 2002 dime, which continued the long-standing tradition of featuring the likeness of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt had been on the dime since 1946, and his profile would continue to be a key element of the design well into the 21st century. The design of the 2002 dime, like its predecessors, featured Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, facing left. The engraving, created by artist John R. Sinek, is simple yet iconic, embodying Roosevelt's leadership and legacy. The reverse side of the coin, also unchanged since 1946, features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. These symbols of liberty, peace, and strength are a tribute to the ideals of the United States, and they have become a hallmark of the dime's design. Now, let's take a deeper look at what makes the 2002 dime so important within the broader context of U.S. coinage. The U.S. Mint produces coins at various facilities across the country, and for the 2002 dime, the primary minting locations were the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Each of these facilities is responsible for creating a portion of the nation's coinage, with specific mint marks that help identify where each coin was produced. Dimes minted at the Philadelphia Mint typically do not carry a mint mark, while those produced at the Denver Mint are marked with a D. In addition to the regular production of dimes, the U.S. Mint also strikes proof coins at the San Francisco Mint. These proof coins, made specifically for collectors, are produced using a special process that results in higher quality strikes. Proof dimes from 2002, like other proof coins, have a polished finish and are carefully inspected to ensure they meet the high standards expected by collectors. These proof dimes, particularly in pristine condition, are highly sought after and are often the most valuable examples of a given year. What truly sets the 2002 dime apart, however, is the way in which the coin's mintage and condition influence its value. While most 2002 dimes are common and can be found in loose change, there are certain factors that can elevate a coin's value. One of the most important of these factors is the coin's grade, which refers to its overall condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. A coin that has been well preserved with no visible wear or damage is considered to be in uncirculated condition, and it will typically be more valuable than a coin that has been in circulation for many years. High-grade 2002 dimes, particularly those that have been certified by reputable organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can fetch significant prices. Of course, even more rare than high-grade dimes are error coins, those that have been struck with some sort of flaw during the minting process. Errors can range from small and subtle issues, like double die impressions or misaligned strikes, to more dramatic flaws, such as off-center strikes or planchet errors. These error coins are highly coveted by collectors because of their rarity and the story they tell about the minting process. In the case of the 2002 dime, there have been several known error coins that have caused a stir in the numismatic community. Dimes with double die errors or those that were struck off-center have sold for much more than their face value. These errors can sometimes turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a rare and valuable find. But it's not just errors that drive up the value of a coin, it's also the overall rarity and demand. So, what's the current value of a 2002 one-dime coin? Well, for the most part, the 2002 dime is still a common coin that can be found in any wallet or coin jar. However, as with any coin, the key to its value lies in its condition, rarity, and any unique features that might make it stand out. Most 2002 dimes that are in average condition are worth only their face value of 10 cents. But for coins that are in exceptional condition or that have rare minting errors, the value can climb significantly. As of recent auctions and sales data, a high-grade 2002 proof dime can be worth several $100s. The most valuable examples, those in pristine MS-70 condition or those with unique errors, can command even higher prices. In fact, it's not unheard of for an error coin or a particularly rare example of the 2002 dime to be worth as much as $96,000 at the right auction. Yes, you read that correctly, a 2002 one-dime coin, with the right combination of condition, rarity, and unique features, could be worth an astounding $96,000. This is a reminder of just how valuable a seemingly ordinary coin can be. For collectors, numismatists, and enthusiasts, coins like the 2002 dime are far more than just currency. They represent history, artistry, and the meticulous craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. They are tangible reminders of the nation's past and present, and for those who appreciate the beauty and complexity of coinage, they hold significant value. So, what should you take away from all this? The 2002 one dime may seem like a small and insignificant coin, but it's much more than that. It's a part of the rich history of U.S. coinage, and it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Whether it's a high-grade proof coin, an error coin, or just a rare find, the 2002 dime is a testament to the ongoing fascination people have with coins and the stories they tell. And who knows? You might just be holding onto a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. The top 5. The year was 2021. A year that followed the global upheaval caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, a year that witnessed the beginning of a slow recovery and a shift in societal values. The world was adjusting to new ways of living, working, and communicating. Meanwhile, the United States, like many countries, was experiencing a series of monumental changes that would define this era. Despite all the chaos and uncertainty, one thing remained a constant: the sound of coins clinking together, particularly the 2021 US 1 dime coin. Though the 2021 dime might seem like a small, insignificant piece of currency to the casual observer, in reality, it's a symbol of resilience and continuity. It represents a crucial moment in US history, a reflection of a nation facing the challenges of modern life while still honoring its heritage. This particular dime is more than just a coin used to make small purchases or hand over as change at the corner store. It's part of an ongoing legacy that stretches back more than 200 years, making it an intriguing item for collectors and enthusiasts alike. But before we dive into the specifics of the 2021 dime, we need to first understand the broader context surrounding its creation. What was happening in the world in 2021? What made this particular year stand out, and how does it tie into the coinage of the United States? 2021 was a time of rebuilding and reflection. Following the tumultuous events of 2020, the United States was still grappling with the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic had shut down entire industries, disrupted daily life, and reshaped how people viewed work, health, and safety. But by 2021, there was a sense of hope and renewal. Vaccines were being distributed across the country, and life was slowly beginning to return to normal. Economically, there were signs of recovery, and people began to re-enter public life after a long period of isolation. In the midst of all this, coins continued to be minted, and the 2021 dime was part of this ongoing cycle. While the country was in the process of recovery, the U.S. Mint was still producing coins to meet the demand for everyday currency, including the 1 dime coin that would circulate in pockets, jars, and cash registers across the nation. Now, let's take a closer look at the 2021 1 dime, specifically its design and the significance it holds. The dime, worth just 10 cents, has had a long history in the United States, and its design has evolved over the years to reflect the changing times. But even as the designs have shifted, one thing has remained consistent since 1946, the likeness of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, appears on the obverse side of the coin. The choice of Roosevelt as the face of the dime was not arbitrary. When Roosevelt passed away in 1945, the U.S. Mint sought to honor him by featuring his image on the dime, recognizing his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's image was designed by artist John R. Sinek and has been the focal point of the dime ever since. His profile is simple yet elegant, facing left, and it serves as a lasting tribute to a president who shaped the course of American history. On the reverse side of the dime, we find a design that has remained unchanged since 1946 as well. The reverse features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The torch represents freedom, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch is a symbol of strength. Together, these elements have become a powerful representation of the values and ideals of the United States. The consistency of this design, even into the 21st century, serves as a reminder of the country's enduring principles and its respect for tradition. Yet, while the design has remained largely unchanged, the production process has undergone several advancements over the years. The U.S. Mint produces coins at multiple facilities across the country, and for the 2021 dime, the majority of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most well-known minting facilities, produces coins that do not carry a mint mark. In contrast, coins minted at the Denver Mint feature the D mint mark, which helps collectors and numismatists identify the origin of the coin. Along with the regular production of dimes, the U.S. Mint also creates proof coins. These proof coins are specially struck with a polished finish and are typically made for collectors. They undergo a meticulous process to ensure they are flawless, which is why they tend to be more valuable than coins intended for circulation. The 2021 proof dimes, produced at the San Francisco Mint, are excellent examples of the U.S. Mint's commitment to quality and craftsmanship. These proof coins are usually sold as part of sets and are highly sought after by coin collectors. While the design and minting process of the 2021 dime were relatively standard, there are still certain factors that can make this particular coin more valuable to collectors. As with any coin, the condition of the 2021 dime plays a significant role in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, free of scratches, dings, or other signs of wear, are typically worth more than those that have been in circulation for years. The value of a coin is also determined by its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. Coins with higher grades, especially those graded as mint state, MS, are more desirable to collectors. A 2021 dime in MS 70 condition, for example, would be considered flawless and could fetch a premium price. Another factor that can influence the value of the 2021 dime is the presence of errors or unique variations. Minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned designs, can make a coin far more valuable than a regular, well-struck dime. These error coins are rare, and collectors are often willing to pay a premium for them. In the case of the 2021 dime, there have been a few reports of minor errors, such as slight off-center strikes, but they are still relatively uncommon. So, what is the current market value of the 2021 one dime? The vast majority of 2021 dimes are still circulating and hold their face value of 10 cents. However, for collectors who seek out high-quality examples, the value can be much higher. A flawless 2021 proof dime, graded MS 70, could be worth several $100s, depending on demand and the quality of the coin. Error coins, depending on their rarity and the nature of the error, can also be worth more than standard dimes, but here's where things get truly interesting. Despite the widespread circulation of the 2021 dime, some rare error coins have been known to fetch impressive prices at auctions. High-grade, error-free coins, along with those that have unique variations or rare mint marks, have been known to sell for significant amounts. For a 2021 dime that has been well preserved and holds a unique feature or an error, the value can climb as high as $78,000. Yes, a single 2021 dime could be worth $78,000 if it has the right combination of condition, rarity, and minting anomalies. This serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary coins, like the 2021 dime, can be far more valuable than they first appear. For collectors, the 2021 dime holds special significance as a coin that represents both the continuity of U.S. currency and the potential for rare discoveries. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting to explore the world of coin collecting, the 2021 dime is a coin worth keeping an eye on. So, the next time you come across a 2021 dime, take a moment to inspect it. You never know, you might just be holding onto a coin worth far more than 10 cents. It's a small piece of history, a token of the resilience of the American people, and a coin with a story that could be worth thousands of dollars.